So a few days back, Packers running back A.J. Dillon was on the Thanalysis show with Thanasi Antetokounmpo, who is on the Milwaukee Bucks. And I want to share one part where A.J. Dillon talks about Aaron Jones. I've not yet watched this entire thing, and so I'm curious to see what AJ's thoughts are on Aaron Jones and what's happened here in Green Bay. So here it is.
And
he's such a cool dude too. I've talked to him sometimes. So
for sure, he's a good guy, and I know he's been down to Milwaukee a bunch too. And I think you got to start with the average lifespan for a running back in the NFL is 2.5 years.
Really? And you already did 5?
Going into 5. Appreciate it. Trying to double it. And
sure.
So we're not average, but and that's like. I don't know if that equates like actually playing in the games. I think that's just being on a roster. And so for him, he's going into year 8. I think he's going into year 8. So you get to that second, third contract. Like a second contract for a running back is a really big deal. Third contract is like we don't know what you're doing. Like teams are trying to get you out the door.
Yeah.
But I mean, as a guy, I mean, he's awesome. He's a brother to me. His family is family to me. And I mean, we were neighbors at some point. I saw the man every day for 4 years. Got to know him and his family really well. Like you said, it's a business, and
it's a business, brother.
And whether you like it or not, at some point, I don't know what everything's going down. Who said what, but he's got to make the best decision for him. I had to make the best decision for me.
Of course.
Everybody is always gonna go make the best decision for you and your family, and so. I know he's a big family man, so I know he definitely took that into account with however the situation went down, and must have thought whatever he was doing was the best for him and his family. So you can only root for that.
So it sounds like A.J. Dillon is pretty understanding about the Aaron Jones situation, and we talked about that when it went down here on the channel. But it sounded like the Packers were offering Aaron Jones less money than Aaron Jones thought was reasonable. It was basically around a 50% pay cut that the Packers were trying to get Aaron Jones to sign on to come back to Green Bay once again. Aaron Jones did not want to take that pay cut, and he still took a pretty sizable pay cut going to the Vikings. I think he made somewhere around $1 million more by choosing the Vikings as opposed to Green Bay. And, I understand Aaron Jones. It has to be somewhat difficult to spend your entire career here in Green Bay and then get offered such a massive pay cut. And I understand why the Packers did that because of Aaron Jones, his injury history, the fact that he is getting older. And A.J. Dillon even talked there about the average time the running backs spend in the NFL, and it's not very long because they take, so much punishment on their body, running the ball time and time again. And so it's a tough position to play in the NFL, especially when it comes to contracts. I definitely say, quarterbacks, wide receivers have it a little easier there. Because it seems like the wear and tear on the body isn't quite as bad when you compare it to the running back position, because lots of those guys tear down a lot faster and are not able to stay at the highest level for as long as some of these other positions are, just because of the nature of the position. And Aaron Jones has done a great job of staying a great job of continuing his career, continuing to play at a high level, because I think if Aaron Jones hadn't dealt with so many injuries last season, the odds would be higher for him to still be on the Packers. But I think when the Packers look at the fact that he's already dealt with so many injuries and he's getting older, it could get worse. And so they probably want to hedge their bets and not have to worry about that injury risk. They instead choose to go with Josh Jacobs, who's a little bit younger, and get a few good years out of him possibly. So, it's just not fun when a player like Aaron Jones leaves Green Bay. Now A.J. Dillon, he is going to have some competition with third-rounder Marshawn Lloyd, Emmanuel Wilson. Josh Jacobs is the number one guy. And the Packers deciding to bring back A.J. Dillon shows that, they're giving him an opportunity to stay here. But looking at the numbers, I'm pretty sure it's only like $167,000 dead cap hit if the Packers were to release A.J. Dillon. And so it's going to be a interesting battle to watch come training camp to see who becomes that number 2 guy. I do think Marshawn Lloyd has a very good chance to do so, because I think he can bring a nice skill set that's a little different than a guy like A.J. Dillon, who is a big physical bruising type running back, where Marshawn Lloyd has a little bit more of that explosiveness and speed, a little bit shorter, but still a pretty physical, speedy back. And so we'll watch this competition come training camp and see if A.J. Dillon is able to lock up that number 2 job, or if Marshawn Lloyd or Emmanuel Wilson gets that job. But if you like more Packers content, feel free to subscribe down below, and I'll see you guys next time.